And we are currently going. Check.
Mark.
Check.
Mark.
Check.
Mark.
Okay, cool.
And
so I guess that's it.
I'm going to do one for me, one very quick. There we go.
All right, cool. That was a clap.
That was, in fact, a clap.
Not the clap, but a clap. It was very impromptu.
For a split second there, I thought you were accusing me of having the clap.
Why would I... Wow, this is a great start. So this is super impromptu. We literally decided to set this up 2 minutes ago.
We have amazing time organization skills, and they really do. Like, can you do Wednesday or Thursday? I can't do Thursday or Wednesday. Can you do next week? I can't do next week. What about right now?
Can you do now? Can you do now?
We could do right now.
I was literally doing nothing earlier, so
I had ticked all the boxes I had to do today, sending documents and stuff, and I was like, what do I do now? And then Discord has not been your friend and not notified me the fact that I've been free for the last... Like, this is my Sunday. I've been free for 2 days.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Introductions, mayhaps?
Yeah. I'm the Twink.
And I do go by 6-bit Sarge, but I believe we agreed for Maurice for this. So
yeah, which is hilarious because that was your joke originally.
I don't even remember why. I don't.
Neither do I.
Like the
but
worst.
You called yourself Maurice at one point.
The worst thing is the working title of this was Maurice and the Twink, and I feel like because like you have known me for quite some time that I'm not known for my intelligence. I am known for being slightly strong. I don't know why we didn't call this Twinkie and the Brawn.
For some reason, I thought you said Twinkie and LeBron.
Twinkie and LeBron? No!
But I'm the ball.
I am the absolute opposite of LeBron.
God, you really are. You're white, you're short.
I'm angry.
It's
He's
like
quite calm
Bizarro
collected.
LeBron.
I'm also broke as shit.
Rich.
I'm broke as shit.
Same.
Oh
yeah, but other words also I'm Feywild.
Yeah, there we go. So, welcome to Maurice and the Twink and Maurice and the Twink. I don't know.
It's Maurice and the Twink that's on this thing here. I know you can't see us because I'm recording through OBS, but basically,
don't know.
I didn't have time to make any graphics because we're doing it now. So I'm just going to start pulling talk show sets off the internet. This one is from something called The Greenhouse. I don't know what it's from.
As long as we're not doing Between Two Ferns or anything like that. That's
a good one to do.
I feel like Zach Galifianakis will be on our ass.
We gotta do the Between Two Ferns one, and then we gotta do the Eric Andre show one.
I like that one.
Yeah.
But that's just because I like Hannibal Buress.
He's very funny. That show is so good. And I'm surprised people would still go on that show without doing any research.
To be fair, most people are probably just like...
2 and 3.
Yeah, I mean, people are probably just like, oh, well-known name. And like, I'll go on that show. And then... It's like people who went on Howard Stern long ago would just pretty much be like, oh, he's a famous name, I'll go on him. And then he just asks you questions that most people would want to jump off a cliff from.
Yeah. I've actually never listened to Howard Stern, but I know the name because he's so intertwined with US culture, and in Ireland in the 2000s everything was US culture. Very
much so. That is
well, not everything, but like we got a heavy amount of it.
Like I'm really showing my age here. Like I vaguely remember being in secondary school and hearing an interview with him and Tila Tequila. There you go. That should date that.
Tila Tequila, Jesus Christ. Like, Jesus Christ. That's like you said, he did an interview with Precious. Like, that's how old you're talking here. And, like, you're not even that much older than me.
No. But, like, Howard Stern's been on for years, decades. So it's, like, kind of fair.
And he's been alive even longer.
And he's like, I assume at some stage they are just Weekend at Bernieing him. Like he must be well into his 80s.
Yeah, at some point it's gonna be Howard Stern, but he's being puppeted by Ryan Seacrest.
God, that's the worst scarecrow I think you'd ever organize.
Ryan Seacrest?
Oh no, have you ever seen what Howard Stern looks like?
I have seen what Howard Stern looks like. He looks like dehydrated Ozzy Osbourne.
He would scare the crows from the crops.
Yeah.
We have derailed already. We actually had a...
We want to go to the first bit on the docket then?
We have a little bit of a few things that Faye has come along with. I don't know one or two of these things. So
the first two, I'm just going to admit, I stole these from Castle Super Beast, a podcast that I listen to. Because they are so funny. It's so funny. So this first one that's labeled Plantation Party, it's not as bad as you think. So, Sarge, I'm just going to ask you to open up that link to that Reddit thread.
This is already concerning.
So here's what happened. Here's let me run this down for you as I get super close to my microphone.
Oh god.
A company in Alabama were like, we're going to throw a party. Ooh, we have these old plantation houses and these estates that do parties. That sounds great. A big open house, alcohol. We'll try to ignore the awful history that happened there, and we'll just try to be nice. But they were like, it's such a periodic. Sorry, it's such a periodic theme. The house has a certain theme to it. Why don't everyone just dress up in period appropriate attire? And they all go. And the one black guy who worked at the company was like, you know what? I will. And he showed up dressed as a slave.
I'm literally... I opened it and I seen the headline, the post, and I'm just... Ha!
Yeah, I love the line, only black guy that works for the company shows up dressed as a slave. And, this dude takes a photo of himself as, dressed up in costume, and he is 100% taking it seriously. Yep, there's photos of him. If you go into the thread of him giving updates, there's photos of him going out into the cotton field by himself. That's how hard this dude went into the joke.
I need to see... there's photos from Imgur I would just really want to quickly see.
It's so funny. It's so funny because he was like, yeah, you want to do period appropriate? Let's go period appropriate.
That one.
It's so good.
Incredible commitment.
It's so funny. And you know what? The party got cancelled. There's also photos of him with with the white people dressed up in their suits and their dresses, and they all look so nice. And there's this dude in the cloth top and the tie-string pants with the sun hat, and he's like, "Yep, we're here together, and you know exactly what I'm doing here." It's so funny because you could tell only one black guy works at that company because no one thought, how about doing a plantation party is a bad idea.
I believe just the concept. Maybe it's just because, we're simple Irish folk. But, no one goes and has a famine graveyard party. You just don't do it.
The British would. We're going to have our potato party. Where we sail boats away from Ireland.
Don't forget to come down to Blight Night.
Blight Night.
God,
Blight Night. Oh my god.
I'm very proud of that.
That's a good one. But oh my god, it's just. Oh, I love that kind of corporate oversight where they're so disconnected. They're like, this is a brilliant idea. Actually, I can go into a tangent now. I saw something recently. Do you know the trend in comic books of black people with electric superpowers?
Do you know, I've heard of this because even growing up, the main two people that I took with the main two characters with electric powers, pure electric powers, were Static Shock and Black
Yeah.
Lightning.
Yes. Do you want to know why that's the case?
I would love to know why that's the case.
So I will actually look up where I got this video because this is not my information. Let me actually quickly go into my YouTube search history so I can get the guy's channel name. Mixed Up Media. Why so many black characters use electricity? That is the video there. So basically, this started with in the 70s. In the early 70s, comic books were quite white. They were very white. But Marvel were starting to introduce more and more black characters. They had, like, I don't know who came out in the early 70s, but like Luke Cage, Misty Knight, and there were characters like Forge, but I think he came in the 80s.
Black Panther, I think was around
Black
then.
Panther as well, yes. Yeah, sorry, he wasn't mentioned in the video, so he slipped my mind, but of course, fucking Black Panther. And DC were like, lads, we need our own black superhero. What's the best idea? So this is DC Comics. This is DC Comics. This is the people that created Batman, the people that created Superman, the Green Lantern mythology. Like, surely a room full of those writers could create a really good character to uplift, black stories and black voices, and, try to expand the diversity of the comic sphere. And you want to know what they came up with?
Black Lightning.
No, they did not.
Oh no, Black Lightning is Black Lightning DC?
He is DC, but that's not the character. Do you know who the Black Bomber is?
Oh my god, I remember this.
Black Bomber, for those who don't know, was a white supremacist who got caught up in a Vietnam War camouflage experiment gone wrong that caused his not only his skin but his entire like facial structure and his hair to go to turn to that of a black man. And he had the fucking 70s afro, and he was essentially became like Luke Cage of sorts. He was, invulnerable, super strong, and he could only gain his powers when either he was stressed or when he shouted black power.
I'm sorry.
That's what they came up with.
People
were paid to come up with this idea, and you know what? It almost came through, but according to the video that I was watching, the editor that signed off on it left before the comic actually came out.
Oh my god. Like that
was the best that they could come up with.
My favorite thing is, let's make Luke Cage but offensive to everyone.
Yeah, it's literally like, let's make the white version of Luke Cage.
And I wouldn't mind. DC have some genuinely decent black characters. Like Static Shock, I stand by, is one of the most brilliant things I've ever... Like, he's probably one of my favorite DC characters of all time.
Have you read the new Static Shock comics from Milestone?
I have not.
They're
actually.
fucking great.
I have not. I need to get around to it.
So I will talk about Milestone and Static Shock in a bit because he ties into this story.
Oh, good.
So then, when Black Bomber, for some reason, they could have had like 15 Black Bomber movies by this point, but that fell through. And while they were writing the script for Black Bomber, they signed it off to a comic book writer. I cannot remember his name, but he is very influential. He became very influential going forward towards black voices in comics. He was a white guy who grew up in a rather poor neighborhood and had black comic book friends. So what he wanted to do was create more black characters for those friends. Very nice story. So he actually had to spend a day explaining to DC executives why the Black Bomber was not a good idea. And eventually, when they eventually agreed with him, he ended up pitching Black Lightning, and that's how we got Black Lightning. A much, much better character. He was a former Olympic athlete turned inner city school teacher, so exactly the kind of character that you'd need to bring up to represent, a better way for black representation in media in the early 70s.
You mean Vietnam War experiment gone wrong wasn't the right way to go about things? Disgraceful.
You mean racism wasn't the way to go about things? Yeah. So what happened after that was in 73, DC and Hanna-Barbera were going to reboot the Super Friends TV show, the animated series. And they were like, let's get all these new characters in. They were like, yeah, let's throw in Black Lightning. Oh no, we don't want to pay residuals. Let's just make our own Black Lightning. So then they made Black Vulcan, who was Black Lightning, just like the exact same character. But DC just did not want to pay the original guy who made him. So that's how we got the first kind of copycat. And then what was after that? Then going forward, going to the 90s was when Milestone was founded, and they had characters like they had the Blood Syndicate, they had Icon, Hardware, and Static, of course, who was kind of like, he wasn't exactly a tribute to Black Lightning, but I believe that there may have been some like influence.
That's fair.
And then in the 2000s, Black Lightning was supposed to appear in the Static Shock cartoon.
I did not know
he was supposed to show up in the third season as like a father figure, aside from Static's actual dad. But DC didn't want to pay residuals. So they created someone called Soul Power, who was another Black Lightning ripoff.
Oh god.
And then do you remember the Justice League Unlimited series?
I do.
The animated series. Yeah. So they were like, here's where we're going to, we're going to bring back Black Lightning. We don't want to pay you. But also we don't want to pay Hanna-Barbera for Black Vulcan. So we're going to make a new guy called Juice. So then basically we have copies of the original character, purely because DC didn't want to pay the fucking writer. And that's how we create that. DC facilitated the stereotype of electric black characters purely because they didn't want to spend the money.
Imagine making 4 times as amount of work and 4 times the amount of characters just because you don't want to pay one guy. Was he really that bad to work with?
And like, you know what? They all have basically the same color scheme.
I will say though, Static Shock, very close to my heart. In fact, it's funny that you mentioned the Justice League Unlimited episodes, because I remember him. I think actually, do you know what? No, it was Batman Beyond. He
was in Batman Beyond. Yeah.
He was, but he was Old Man Static.
Yeah, he was a member of the Justice League Static,
and he
was Superman.
One of the absolute coolest individuals. I remember that episode. Just like because I looked
fucking awesome.
He was so badass. It's so annoying that we haven't had a decent attempt at a Static movie yet, because there's so many good people who could play Justin Hawkins like that.
It's not Justin Hawkins. It's something. What's his fucking name?
I thought it was Justin Hawkins.
Virgil
Hawkins. I know it was my mistake. Sorry. Virgil. You know what? That's right. No, that really makes me shit on my own.
Sorry?
It really makes me shit on my own. Oh, I'm a big fan. I can't remember his main fucking character.
Milestone want to produce their first live-action film, which will be Static. But going how Warner Bros. Discovery have been going recently, probably not.
I feel like that leads very well into our next point.
Yeah. Actually, does it?
Well, we can skip the one that we have between and get it into Warner Brothers Discovery.
Yeah. But actually, Milestone relaunched 3 series. Like last year or the year before, they relaunched Icon, Hardware, and Static. I got Icon and Static. They're very good. They are very good series. But I don't think that Icon is coming back, because I haven't heard anything about that. Static is coming back. But Hardware, and Hardware is still going. But I never got Hardware. They're very good though.
I will have to give them a look. Only I haven't bought much comic in the way of comics at the moment. I'm currently trying to commit. Like, it is my dating myself here. It is my 30th birthday in January.
Yeah.
My partner is like, well, I have to give you something decent. It's your 30th. What do you want?
What do you get for your 30th birthday?
That is an excellent question, because if you figure it out, let me know. Because I am being so difficult. She pretty much just said, like, okay, so what is it you want? And we're moving into a new house. And I said, well, I'd love a Force FX lightsaber to hang above the fireplace. And that was vetoed so quickly.
To hang over the fireplace like it's your fucking family emblem.
Yeah, which is why I also was denied the axe from God of War. So it was really insulting. One of the things I recommended that maybe I get the 4 or 5 volumes of Sandman as a hardback.
Ooh, that's nice.
And I'd put that in my office as like all of them as a hardback. Each of the volumes is a hardback on my wall, which would be lovely. Which ties in really well to holy shit, have you seen Sandman?
I have seen most of Sandman.
Okay, how far have you seen?
I can check the episodes actually.
Because there was 2
I'm past
bonus episodes put out.
Yes, I have not seen those yet.
Neither have I, but I know they're the Cat Story and Calliope, which are very, very good one-shot issues in the comics. But like I'm on
episode 8.
I'm around the same place. I'm 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Basically, I finished the first arc, and up to the one I remember is The Sound of Her Wings, which I was terrified they would do wrong, but my God, they fucking nailed it.
Also, I hear that Joanna Constantine is getting her own series as well.
I sincerely hope so, because she has been so enjoyable.
Yeah.
Even from the get-go, like for the second to third episode, just such a good call. Like, Jenna Coleman got such shit from the whole Doctor Who thing, and honestly, it's so undeserved. She is so talented.
Why is she doing Doctor Who?
People hated her because she was I believe the correct term is woman.
Fair enough.
It's just what it is. Doctor Who fandom is not okay. But
no, they're from Tumblr. Of course they're not okay.
But like, look, Jenna Coleman was great. Death, fabulous character.
The only complaint I have about Death's design is that she didn't have the eye tattoo on her. Other than that, it was fine.
I can live with that, because
that
was just more 90s makeup, to be honest. And I'm just thrilled. It's been so enjoyable. Let's put it this way. I've enjoyed the first half so much that I actually went and restarted it just so I could watch it again before I've even finished this season.
Jesus. By the way, so I looked up what to get for your 30th birthday. The first 2 results are wine related. So I mean into alcoholism. Also, it is from Cosmopolitan, so it's Wine Mom.
I will say, get into alcoholism. But
you're not that bad.
I have been bad in I would give myself the last 3 months.
Jesus.
No, it's not. No, it's certainly not every day or anything like that. But I went from not at all to casually having 2 or like a couple of drinks every week. And it would be fine if I was, going out for any of these. I am drinking by myself. But that's more like do you know how like you have a glass of wine when you come home from a long week of work and you're tired? That has become now, this is very stereotypical. I've actually started drinking and getting into Guinness quite a bit.
Oh, fuck off.
I love it. It's really fun and enjoyable, and it reminds me of happy times and
Guinness?
I love it. Hey, it's the one beer I have never had an issue with.
You are a mutant. You are a fucking mutant.
My people say their taste buds change as they get older, and I'm marking it down to that.
No, they fucking burn away when you drink fucking Guinness.
It's not that bad, genuinely.
It's bad. It's not a good drink.
It is to me. I mean, you're talking to someone who regularly drinks mead, as well as.
But like, your mead is fruity.
It is very fruity. It's basically just sweeter wine.
Yeah.
I also quite... Okay, this is going to age me. I quite like port now.
Okay.
A good hot port on a Sunday after a sunny day is phenomenal. But it's only a little glass, which is why I have 5 of them. But yeah, I'm not too bad. But alcohol for a 30th would be fair. We talked about possibly going to Disneyland, which would be
which one?
We go to Paris because it's kind of it's a meaningful one for us because it was our first holiday. It will be 9 years next month.
Jesus.
I know, I'm so old.
You're not old. You're only turning 30. That's not old.
I considered this. To be fair, turning 30 is a big thing because everyone seems to be making a big deal about it. Our mutual friends. Do you know that our mutual friend sends me memes on the 24th of every month, which is my birthday in January, to
reminding you that you're turning old?
To remind me that I am turning old in a certain amount of months. They will only send... that would be... you can bleep this.
Okay. How did I fucking know? How did I know?
Because none of our other friends...
Nature.
None of our friends would do... None of our other friends would do that. Like, it's just not a cool thing to do. Anyway, I've digressed. So for a 30th gift, I don't know yet. I am going to get some more tattoos. I have one that I know... I have one that I've planned with a sibling that I know you're going to be fierce excited about.
Is it the one that you told me about before? But I can't remember.
Possibly. I'm getting not really a matching tattoo with them, a themed tattoo, we'll say. So they are getting Animal from the Muppets.
Yes, and you were getting Kermit.
I am getting Kermit. I've decided he's gonna be in black and white, but that's okay as long as I have
dramatic Kermit.
I'm not gonna. Might not be. It might be chubby Kermit. I might get chubby Kermit.
Chubby Kermit.
Chubby Kerm. He used to be my Discord profile picture.
It's been so long.
Oh my god.
I think I actually remember, but let me just look up. I'm just going to Google Chubby Kermit and see what comes up. Oh, yeah. I remember this fucking thing.
I love him. I think I might.
It has a Twitter page just called Fat Kermit.
That's so good. I need to follow it right now. I love that. So we go back on track.
Why is this Twitter account super real though? It's just like a regular person. It's not like a character or anything. It's just a dude who's just named himself Fat Kermit. Back on track. We can get rid of that second. So we can blow through that second story real quick. It's quite funny.
Okie dokie.
So there's a Twitter post. So Sarge.
Yes.
You've played Fallout 4.
I am a fan of the Fallout series.
Yeah. Would you say that one of your least favorite parts of playing a survival post-apocalyptic game set in the East Coast? Yeah, it's Boston, so East Coast of America. Was that there was just so many darn people of color?
No. I would say that it has far too many death claws, and I have to deal with bloatflies on a regular basis, not people of color.
Well, you see, American Krogan here on Twitter is making a mod that removes all the people of color from Fallout 4.
I wouldn't mind.
You just hate that forced diversity, so then you have to force non-diversity yourself.
It's almost like a melting pot of a nation has other races. Who knew? But no, though. When I'm God, I can just get rid of them. So basically what's happened is that this idiot is making a mod that removes all people of color from Fallout 4, leaving it as just white people. The only issue is that a number of NPCs that you encounter that are people of color or black, I think it's black mainly, are NPC quests. Sorry, are NPCs that have main story quests, so you can't exactly get rid of them. I'm racking my brains. It's not like there's many that I can think of. Like Preston Garvey, obviously.
Sarge, there's some.
There's some. There's two whole people.
Yeah, and the problem is, even if you make Preston Garvey white, he still sounds like the original Preston Garvey. So what do? You put a call out for your voice actors in the community to voice act a white version of Preston Garvey.
I cannot imagine he's getting much like people to do it. Or if he is, I hope exclusively people of color are applying.
And just so you know, Sarge, if you want to flex your voice acting talents, you can send him a WAV audio sample, either on his Twitter or, surprisingly, on his Telegram.
Of course, it's fucking Telegram. Okay, I as much as I enjoy the voiceover things, I don't know if I can morally put myself into a position where I have to tell someone that another settlement needs their help. I just don't think I can do it.
Sorry, I was reading through the replies there. What'd you say?
I was like, I don't know if I can morally put myself in a position to tell a player that another settlement needs my help.
Oh my god, these replies are not good.
We're gonna have to do something about that dead air there while you're focusing and reading.
No, it's fine. There's a fucking comment here that says, if I want my role-playing game to be set in a post-nuclear white ethno-state, this is the mod for me. What's the goal here? How is the game enhanced by removing black people?
If I wanted to put myself into a white ethno-state of a post-apocalyptic world, I'd just go outside! Speaking of mods, of modding people into games...
modding people into games.
Into games. I've got something different for you. The opposite side of things. Spider-Man, the great PlayStation 4 game.
Is this the pride flag thing?
No, even better.
Oh.
The mods have been released for it because it got ported to PC recently, and people have immediately started modding.
Yes, now, great. I love it. I love seeing the mods.
It started off as simple as just like, I want to see suits that weren't in the game that were from comics that I enjoy. And then it started getting fun. So
as it should.
Recent ones that I have seen is Aunt May.
Yes, that's hilarious.
Kermit the Frog.
Oh my god. It's
and
like Smash.
Not even Kermit the Frog. I haven't seen... Do you remember recently enough they did an evil Kermit the Frog with a mustache?
That was one of the movies from like 10 years ago.
Yeah, him. Him in particular. That wasn't
recent, Sarge.
Oh my god, shut up. Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Modding Stan Lee. People who are actively just modding it back to have the nice Peter Parker face. From the one.
Good. That's a better face. He looks awful in the new one. It's so bad.
A game that was made like remastered a year after it came out didn't need it. It didn't. It was fine.
Well, like the thing was like, let's make him look more like the movie, like Tom Holland, and he looks nothing like Tom Holland.
But like in particular Stan Lee, because they put him in a suit, like a tuxedo.
I'm surprised that you haven't mentioned my favorite one out of all the mods for, spider suit replacements.
It's very hard.
Uncle Ben's tombstone.
I did see that.
It's so good because it has no animation.
No, it doesn't. It's just
a solid block of rock.
It's just a solid
around hitting people.
And the best thing is, in cutscenes, you'll just have you won't have him because the block is a foot tall.
Yeah. Also, what's really cool is that you can play as the villains now as well. So people have made playable Vulture and a playable Doc Ock.
See, that's really cool.
And also Rhino, I think, has also been made. And I'd say Scorpion would probably be the hardest because he will have very different animations. Yeah,
I keep seeing
Black Suit as well.
I keep seeing people mod.
Pardon me, 2 seconds.
No.
We'll cut this part out.
That's okay.
We were talking about Spider-Man suits.
The one thing that I've seen recently was not even a Spider-Man suit. It was they've obviously modded other characters.
Yeah.
So in particular, the game starts with you trying to bust Kingpin. So they've modded him to look like his Spider-Verse look.
Oh my god, how big is he? How big is he?
He's big. He's big.
I gotta look at this.
Just like a
Spider-Man remastered Kingpin. I've seen ones where they like made his suit gold and his skin purple, so he looks like Thanos, but it looks really shit.
They can try, but it's just moving his head down and his like shoulder stuff be 5 feet above his head.
I've seen ones where they replace Spider-Man with Kingpin, so it's just his giant ass body swinging around.
That's a big boy.
I need to find an image of this because that sounds so fucking funny.
I vaguely remember.
Don't go look on YouTube as well.
I vaguely remember seeing it.
That's so great.
I vaguely remember seeing it on IGN, but it might have been for I can't remember. Off the top of my head, I definitely remember seeing it. It might have been a doctored image. I don't even care, but it's so funny.
Kingpin versus Kingpin, CJ, Fat Spider-Man. Where is he? I'm certain that mod exists. Oh, they have a version of him from the '90s animated series.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is very cool.
It's
a great design.
Speaking of Kingpin, I only recently got around to watching Hawkeye.
Oh, Hawkeye's so good. I love how grounded it is.
It is. It's genuinely a good time. Now, I watched it in May, so it isn't really a time for like watching a Christmas thing. But I'll watch it again at Christmas because it was real good.
It's a great series.
I still have to start.
Also, like the
Miss
reintroduction
Marvel.
of Kingpin.
Big time.
Marvel's fucking good as well.
Big time good to have a reintroduction of Kingpin, and I know spoilers for She-Hulk, I suppose.
Yeah. Which episodes?
I don't know. I have not watched it.
Oh, okay.
But I am aware of the existence of a certain Devil of Dare.
Yeah, he shows up in the trailer. That's not a huge spoiler.
In particular, I believe it's his yellow suit.
He is wearing the yellow and red suit, yeah. And we can confirm it's I've just seen Kermit. We can confirm it's Daredevil and not Demolition Man because he has the 2 Ds on his suit.
I'm okay with that. I haven't watched it yet. I'm one of those people who will not watch anything and then watch it all when it comes out, so I can binge it like a psychopath.
I can't find the.
I'll have a look and see if I can send it to you later.
Yeah. Yeah, Hawkeye is really good. It's really nice and grounded, and like it brings us back Daredevil. It brings us back Kingpin. It brings us into Echo, and it also gives us more on White Widow.
Well, that's always good.
Yeah,
I will.
It was just a really tight series,
and like the best thing, and I'm going to guide this back into our topic of conversation, is that it's grounded because it's not about people who are like. It's not like Moon Knight where you have these phenomenal cosmic powers. It is just you're very good with the thing, or you're very talented with the thing. Speaking of people who are very talented with thing, about a show that's been and not even grounded, slammed into the ground. Fucking poor Batgirl.
Wait, Batgirl the TV series or Batgirl the movie?
The movie.
The movie. Yes. So, yeah, we're coming quite late to this one, but yeah, Warner Brothers just out of the blue announced that Batgirl was cancelled. It was a straight HBO Max movie. And with the recent change in management at Warner Bros. Discovery, their new CEO wants to change how they produce content, and they want HBO Max to go away from scripted TV more towards reality TV. The reasoning behind this is because unions work differently in reality TV. Also, you don't have to pay writers.
Fair.
So basically, no, it's not fair.
No, it's not.
So basically, they've gone this huge slew of canceling primarily animated series and then removing them from their services to avoid paying residuals to the original show creators and the animators.
I mean, that's
so
bafflingly
that's
wild. It's so bafflingly
and
wild.
Like those shows only exist on HBO Max. So they don't exist anymore. You have to, if you can, you have to try and. I don't know how many shows would even still have a DVD release.
Well, this is the thing I've
streaming
seen.
Is supposed to be the answer to that.
This is the thing I've seen is that people who made these animated shows had no warning that their stuff was about to be taken off. So there's a load of I can't remember the name of the show, but there was definitely, I've seen on Twitter a few creators finding out that their work has just been taken off this system and they can't get it anywhere. There's nowhere they can get it. Imagine putting your heart and soul into a show only to find that you have to pirate it yourself.
Yeah. Like the creator of Infinity Train, I think, is now just saying
Infinity Train. Thank you. That's the one. Thank you. Yeah. I was trying to remember that.
Yeah. They're just saying, like, pirate it because I'm not going to make money otherwise. It's just like, have you seen the fucking slides that Warner Bros. Discovery showed at their new presentation to show how their company was restructuring?
I did not.
They are god awful. Okay, so I have a marketing background. I'm just going to lay that out as that like bit of information about myself.
We both do.
I know how. Yeah, I have more though.
You do.
So, and also, sorry, you would also know this. You know how to put together a document or a presentation to show off a company's new brand identity.
You'd hope so. I sincerely hope so.
Yeah. So I'm going to send these to you in Discord, and I'll probably put them up if we, as this is a video, if I can find them.
I'm looking for it, but like,
ignore the dogs shouting.
I couldn't hear anything. Well, you're looking for that. I think it's so cheap of Warner Bros. Sorry, excuse me, to be this way about animated shows, forgetting where they started. Fucking Looney Tunes. That is an animated thing that made them their money in the first place. Like,
send the first one on to you to show how they divide their fucking gender based content.
I am baffled.
So I'm going to send these on, and then I'm going to talk about them.
What?
Yeah, it's dumb. It's dumb as fuck, isn't it?
What? Why? What?
Okay.
Why is HBO?
That I saw and I want to pull it out.
Why is HBO Max male skewed and Discovery Plus female skewed? That doesn't make sense. It's up there with saying HBO Max, it's for men. No.
Okay, I can't find the third one that I thought about. But so yeah, basically Warner Bros. have. So first of all, we'll look at the second one first. This is one where they show like their biggest brands and franchises across all their mediums as Warner Bros. Discovery. So,
oh my god, I've just seen it.
Their biggest brands, HBO, of course, Discovery, yeah, they're part of the merger. CNN, HGTV, Cartoon Network, DC, and Looney Tunes. Those are their biggest brands that they consider to be their powerhouses, okay?
I'm sorry.
Franchises.
Yeah, I've just seen one in the middle of franchises that has broken my heart a little bit.
It's gonna get a lot worse. It's gonna get a lot worse, Sarge. So franchises, we have the DC, then we have Shark Week, which is apparently what they consider to be one of their biggest franchises.
Yeah, that's the
Game
one.
of Thrones, that makes sense. Sarge, are you ready for the fucking 90 Day Fiancé universe?
I mean, the next one is Harry Potter. I'd much rather the 90 Day Fiancé universe.
Harry Potter makes sense.
I'd watch more of the 90 Day Fiancé universe than I would Harry Potter. We don't support TERFs.
I just kill myself.
We don't support TERFs here.
Yeah, that's worse. Their iconic series and characters: Friends, Fixer Upper, Welcome Home, Big Bang Theory, which ended I think 10 years ago, Property Brothers, Diners, Drive-In, and Dives.
Guy Fieri, no! Guy Fieri, no! You're better than this.
Most of those series are over.
That is,
I believe.
Yeah, Friends is obviously
Friends
done.
is gone. Friends should not be on that list. I don't care how popular I don't care how popular Friends gets, and as someone who likes Friends, it should not be considered one of their modern icons. Fixer Upper, Welcome Home, I have no idea about. Big Bang Theory. I never understood how that series went on because I watched 5 seasons of it and it was awful. I had to figure out why was it good.
It was just filled with non-jokes.
It's really just not fun. Anyway, regardless, Property Brothers, again, I know that's a huge series. My mother actually watches it. But like Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, I'm pretty sure that series has ended. Let me just double check.
No, it's
like that's a 90s 2000 series, right?
No, that's still going on. That's ongoing.
Still going? Has he run out of divers, drive-ins, and or dives yet?
No, those 3 categories. Those 3 categories are huge, and also like
Sex in the City.
That actually had a reboot. Sex in the City had a reboot recently, and it got.
Didn't it just have a movie?
It I don't know if it had a movie. It definitely had a show on HBO, I think, and I vaguely remember hearing that it was utterly awful.
Yeah. So
because obviously they didn't have main characters come back and all this. So I'm really upset about the Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives because I watch those clips on YouTube in work whenever like I'm bored. Good old Guy Fieri is like a comfort net. But like I am shocked. Also international, that's all the sports and things like that. Fair enough. But
yeah, international I wasn't going to comment on because I don't know anything about it.
If we could very quickly go back to the how they've divided the HBO Max and Discovery Plus thing.
So this stuff, this looks like gender criticals trying to make their own streaming service. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I don't understand
HBO
some of these.
Max is the male skew. Apparently, men only watch scripted content, lean in. So I guess
as in you're leaning into. Yeah, as in think if you're on the chair, you're leaning in to watch it. You're on the edge of your seat. If you're think of it, like you're watching the show, you're sitting on your chair, you're leaning in to watch it. It's holding. Yeah. It's like it's on the edge of your seat.
I'd rather lean into a fucking vat of boiling water. Appointment viewing.
So that I assume is like, it's on at 9:00 on Wednesday night.
Yeah. Home of fandoms. Okay. Then the female skew is unscripted, lean back, comfort viewing, and home of genre doms.
First off.
This is so fucking bad.
First off, a genre dom is awful.
It sounds like someone who doesn't know what BDSM is came up with.
It sounds like I'm a dom, but I have a theme. So on Wednesday night, I'm a cowboy.
Wednesday night is cowboy night.
Wednesday night is cowboy night.
Well, like. What weirded me out the most is like the view that women prefer unscripted content and like that women don't enjoy and like that women there was a comment at one point as well that women don't consume animated content.
I disagree.
Considering like how many animated series came out in the last 10 years that either star female-led characters or are created by women. Like Steven Universe, Infinity Train, She-Ra. I could go on.
Yeah.
It's just they're so out of touch.
You gotta
so fucking out of touch with this.
You gotta give it to the people, especially for Discovery Plus, because everyone knows. I'm just trying to think of old school Discovery Channel shows. So American Chopper, obviously female skew.
American Chopper?
Oh my god, do you remember American Chopper?
It sounds familiar. Let me look it up.
What else we got? We got Mythbusters, well-known female skew.
Oh my god.
Unscripted because it's science and they're educated.
But also, like, have you seen the reports now that alongside getting rid of so much anime content, they're also getting rid of certain executive staff members?
No.
So they laid off a bunch of executive staff at Warner Brothers Discovery. That staff may or may not have been primarily queer and people of color. And apparently the reason behind that was because Warner Bros. Discovery now wants to target Middle America. Because as we all know, there's no colored people or queers in Middle America.
Yeah, no.
The entire genre of pop punk music doesn't exist.
Oh, well, so you got to remember, on the East Coast, there's no BIPOC people because they're being modded out.
They're being modded out.
They're being modded out by, what was it, American Komodo or whatever his name is, because American Preston Garvey has to be white.
Yeah.
There's nothing in the middle of America. Cause,
yeah.
So, this hurts.
Yeah, so going back to Batgirl, though, like where this whole thing started, what's fascinating is that their primary reason for... Sorry, they gave a number of reasons that Batgirl was cancelled, and they were all contradictory. But the first one that came out was because, we gave it to a test audience, and it was just too low of a score, so we decided to scrap it. It was a $90 million tax write-off. So then you look up what the score is. Batgirl tested in the low 60s, okay?
Okay.
For audience viewing. Would you like to know what other films were in the low 60s?
Please.
Shazam.
Okay, that could... What?
It Part 1.
Phenomenal movie, but okay.
So, yeah. So 2 films that actually did super well got the same scores as Batgirl.
It's so annoying. Like, I've heard that they're trying to do what they're calling funerary showings in Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Like, they're trying to show it.
This is just they're going to try and get every scrap of money they can out of it.
Not even. They're just showing the movie to the people who worked really hard on it.
Well, they've seen it enough. They fucking worked on it.
Yeah, but they've worked on it. It's pretty much almost ready, if I remember correctly. And they're like, we're just going to show it to you guys because you're the only ones who will see it, and that is heartbreaking.
Yeah. One of their reasons for canceling the film was that it's what was the fuck it was? It was that it needed more special effects and it would end up doubling the budget. But like, that's not something that you come into when the movie is finished filming. That is a pre-production issue that you source way early on. And if so, that is not the fault of the filmmakers, that is the fault of the company who did not budget the movie correctly.
That, exactly. Like, it's nothing to do with the actors, it's nothing to do with the movie, it's just to do with the fact that you cannot actually make a movie through a boardroom.
Yeah. And like, I remember I also saw that the writer-directors of Batgirl, it's a duo, one of them was like, you know what, I'm just going to get the footage and I'm just going to see if I can post it online somewhere, for people to watch, because this movie's getting scrapped. And he goes to the server that they were using to hold all the footage. It's fucking gone.
That's heartbreaking.
Warner Bros. Just deleted it.
Speaking of things Warner Brothers should delete. Let's talk about the individual treating each place that they go to like it's their own personal GTA.
Yeah. GTAing, bro. So I have a few stories here. So first of all, we know what Ezra Miller's been up to. We don't need to review or go over what they've been doing. Ones that come off the top of my head: 3 crimes of assault and 1 of breaking and entering in Hawaii. Another crime of breaking and entry somewhere else to steal alcohol, and kidnapping. And keeping children on their farm where they're fully armed.
Let's also not forget that they have an Irish story as well.
What's the Irish story?
I believe I think it was in April this year. They were filming something, or they were just here, and there was a video existing and dropped into Dublin like fortnight, I assume, and just I think randomly choked someone.
Okay, I'm not surprised. There's been enough. Yeah, so we go through this whole measure of chaos, as Ezra Miller is actively spreading the will of the Chaos Gods from 40K. And then just out of nowhere, also wait, actually before we get into that, I want to note that whilst the police were looking for Miller, as in like there was a warrant out for their arrest, and Miller was taunting them that the police couldn't find them. It turns out
they were filming fucking more bits of the Flash.
They were reshooting Flash, and Warner Bros. Discovery knew where Miller was and did not tell the police.
Do you know what's so funny? That they're saying, we're going to make a female-male skewed system, and that's not the worst decision they've made in the last 6 months.
Well, you see, they were going for the male-female skew. They forgot about the chaos non-binary skew.
The chaos non-binary. By the way, in the meantime, we're going to scrap a movie that people have put their heart and soul into. We're going to aid and abet a criminal while they taunt the police.
Yeah, and like the whole thing was like, so what happens to the Flash as more and more crimes are happening? And it was like, they're either going to just scrap it, 200 million down the drain, or they're going to, release the Flash, but they're going to keep Miller off the red carpet, or they're going to try and salvage Miller's career. So, out of nowhere, on a random morning, like 2 weeks ago, this report comes out where Miller has broken their silence on issues an apology for their actions in recent years. Would you like to hear what the apology is?
I would, but I do have to point out, I remember hearing that this exact apology came out less than 12 hours after they had run someone over with a trolley or something.
That's not important. What's important now is the apology, Sarge. Okay. Having recently gone through a time of intense crisis, I now understand that I am suffering complex mental health issues and have begun ongoing treatment. Sarge, could you tell me where the word "I'm sorry" appears in that?
All I know is Ezra Miller is having a crisis on Infinite Earths in their own head.
The crisis is crime.
The
active crimes.
My crisis is I can't stop committing crime. I can't. I really can't. I don't understand.
Doctor, I have a condition. I can't stop committing crimes. So that's what the apology came out in, like, all the news articles. And like, if that's not the most corporate bullshit, that Warner Bros. Were like dragging Miller into the fucking office.
To be fair,
to fucking salvage the Flash.
At the frequency that they are committing crimes all over the US and all over the world.
Yeah.
I can fully assume
wave.
No, I can
a literal crime.
I can fully assume that Ezra Miller has in fact got the powers of the Flash and is just traveling around the world committing crimes and then running to their next appointment.
It was me, Barry. Have you seen the memes? Have you seen the fucking memes of Zoom where it's like, it was me, Barry. I brought you to your intervention. It's like, Barry, you need to stop.
And now it was you, Barry. You were the one committing crime.
Yeah, it was you, Barry.
Just God. Ezra Miller looking at the Flash, just looking at the Reverse Flash. It was me, Eobard. I'm the one who threw a man under a trolley in Hawaii, choked a girl in Tala, then kidnapped those children in Utah.
There's so much to unpack. So I have a Vox article here that goes over everything Miller has done.
Up to that point.
up to let's see what we have here. So this is just throughout this year. Forming a sex cult, grooming and brainwashing underage girls, acting wildly inappropriate with 11-year-olds, and then in Iceland, strange tales, like it's a fucking comic, of the actors' exploit both in Iceland and on their gun-filled Vermont state, in an arrest that the state for felony burglary on August 7th.
I'm just...
So, I have two more articles here as well. This one is from the Hollywood Reporter. I'm not done yet. There's so much. There's so much crime packed into one being.
Ezra Miller is the reverse Robert Downey Jr. And I have a point with this.
Go on.
Robert Downey Jr. had a rough life and did some pretty horrific things before he became Iron Man. Becoming Iron Man.
Know about his drug abuse.
Drug abuse is a big thing.
Yeah.
Turned his life around when he got that role, became a superhero in every sense of the word. Ezra Miller became a superhero and then actively got worse and actively started committing more crimes.
You either die the hero or you live long enough to become Ezra Miller. So here's the headline for this Hollywood Reporter article. Ezra Miller meets with Warner's leadership in the Flash course correct. Miller is seeking to save the movie as Warner Bros. Beg Ezra Miller to stop committing crimes. So this is essentially Warner Bros. Have made their decision and are like, we need to release this $200 million movie that has been delayed 3 times. Miller, stop committing active crimes.
They have a chance to do the right thing here by me. And it's how, like, I'm not going to see this movie no matter how good they claim it to be.
Yeah.
They also recently cancelled the Flash TV show.
Yes. But that got really bad.
They did get really bad, but do the right thing. Just reshoot the whole movie. Grant Gustin, ask no questions, do nothing, like, treat it like Grant Gustin has been the Flash the entire time.
Well, here's the issue in that, so have you seen the trailer for Flash?
No, I refuse to.
So here's the thing. He goes to, Flash, sorry, I'm talking about Barry when I say he. He goes to Earth 2, okay?
Okay.
It's Flashpoint. There is another Barry. There are 2 Ezra Millers in that movie.
Oh no, double the crime!
Double the crime! So, like, here's how they can save it. You know what? Fucking keep Miller, but put them in prison. But at the end of the movie, when Barry goes back to his own Earth, it's just Grant Gustin. Let's just move on. That's what I think. Even then, I am considering not watching that movie.
I think that they should bring, because Ezra Miller appeared in the TV show as the Flash.
Yes, very briefly.
I
think that was supposed to be a cameo in the movie.
I think Grant Gustin, they should just film the whole thing with Grant Gustin. Don't tell Ezra Miller. CGI his suit to be yellow and have him be the reverse Flash the entire time.
No. Here's what you do, is that you go through all the body cam and police crime footage from Miller's crimes and then just superimpose the fucking reverse Flash suit on him.
It's just so disappointing because he's like...
And you just put some lightning effects around. Speed crime.
Just throw the word... I love the word speed crime. Look, I'm baffled by this, because what I don't understand, look, I'm not one to judge someone's mental state. No one commits that amount of crimes and blames it on a mental state.
No.
Alexander the Great did not invade loads of countries purely because my mental state said it was okay and didn't apologize after. I've named 11 cities after myself, but I'm not going to apologize.
Would you like the Ezra Miller story to get worse?
How? Did he barbecue a child?
No, they did not. In Rolling Stone.
Oh, okay? Sorry. My mistake.
Now you're good. Ezra Miller apologizes in person to Warner Brothers bosses after fearing The Flash could get scrapped. Didn't even apologize to the people they committed crimes to, but apologized to Warner Brothers. Because they didn't want the movie to get scrapped. Ezra Miller was reportedly so worried The Flash could get canned following a recent string of unrest and controversies. I wonder who did those. The embattled actor, fuck off, turned up in California this week from their mountain cave of crime, from the fucking Legion of Doom headquarters in the swamp, to personally apologize to the Warner Brothers bosses.
Oh my God.
Also, I like it how every article has Miller who uses they them pronouns.
Hang on, they won't use
to Warner Brothers.
They won't use they. They just said Miller who uses they them.
Yeah.
Smart.
But they apologize to Warner Brothers. Not anyone else.
I don't understand. Sorry, corporate overlords.
Actually put them in prison. I'm sorry I committed crimes, overlords, but can I commit crimes but you commit crimes? It's such a bad situation. Would you like to know something else that's going to fuck you up?
Any more than what is already going?
The Flash movie was announced to begin production. Sorry, it was even announced that it was going to be a thing when season 1 of The Flash premiered.
Oh yeah, no, it's nearly at least a decade ago.
Flash, this TV series Flash is now ending, and we have not seen the Flash movie.
It's like
and they're keeping this person. What happened to the Cyborg movie?
Oh, I'm vaguely aware. I think what's his name? Ray.
Cyborg is Ray Fisher. Cyborg has just been deleted from the DCEU.
Ray Fisher, thank you.
Does not appear in any reference to the Justice League. It's always everyone but Cyborg is mentioned. Is not mentioned at all in fucking Peacemaker. Is not on any lineups for DC, and his movie has just been erased.
I vaguely remember hearing.
And the only thing I can source that back to is when Joss Whedon, Dick Shower extraordinaire, or was that Louis C.K.? I can't remember. And Jeff Johns, big DC man, threatened him on set of the original Justice League movie. So my guess is that may have ended up with them deprioritizing Cyborg.
That is so disappointing.
Yeah.
He actually okay. It's my next sentence you are not to judge me for.
Okay.
The Snyder cut.
Yeah.
Was not bad at all.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. It's terrible for a movie, but it's good for a passion project.
Yeah, it's easily one of the best DCEU films.
Also, 4x3, go fuck yourself. I don't care what your vision is. That is stupid.
I don't understand that either. But anyway, Ray Fisher, Cyborg, was one of the best parts of that movie.
Yeah, because he actually had a character.
He had a character. Okay, don't get me wrong, Joss Whedon, you can tell that he must have had a fucking problem with him because he gutted him from his version.
Yeah, Joss Whedon has a problem with anyone who's not a woman that he will sleep with. You hear that he threatened to kill the actor who played Angel on Buffy the Vampire Slayer because he was too popular?
I did not.
So I saw an interview. So Michael Rosenbaum, who played Lex Luthor in Smallville, has a podcast. He does a talk show where he speaks to actors. And he brought on the guy who played Angel, and I think it was Angel, not David Boreanaz. But yeah, apparently Angel was supposed to be a 1-episode feature in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He ended up staying throughout the entire series and then getting his own spin-off because he was so popular. Joss Whedon hated him so much. He would walk up to the actor in the middle, on shoot days, and just at one point he threatened to kill him. He threatened to attack him. He wanted to see his character dead. Just, awful.
I have to point out, this podcast, we need to end on a happy note. Because this is
I mean, I have some happy notes. I have some fun stuff to talk about.
Because we have just talked about the world is crazy and awful and racist and whatever the hell Ezra Miller is doing. But I see the last of our
Ezra
notes, and I'm
Miller
going
is
to have to
Darkseid.
ask that we. I see the last of our notes, and I have to ask that we don't end on that. Because
Well, not the last. Okay, no, wait, no, that'll actually be funny. I promise you.
Okay, because just for the benefit of the audience, I want to read out what the last line of our notes is.
Okay, anyone who knows what it is will know what I'm talking about.
Which is the words Ken Pender's Sonic Comics hyphen Sonic Holocaust poem.
Yes, that is a real thing that I will talk about. So yeah, I guess do you want to finish up on the Ezra Miller stuff then?
Yeah, I'm happy to leave. I'm happy to leave them to whatever. No, actually, I'm not. I'm really hoping that someone captures that domestic terrorist, and one day we actually have someone who, like, who is the reverse Ezra Miller? Genuinely,
I don't know.
Who are we? Who do we need to call? Oh, someone's at the door. Did you say Danny DeVito? No, did you say Danny DeVito?
I was trying to think of nice people. He's nice.
He is nice.
So, yeah, the last topic on the list, He-Man comics. Guess what comics I've been reading recently?
I'm going to assume it's definitely He-Man. Okay, no, maybe I do have to get that. Give me 1 second.
So, basically, Sarge, what was your first interaction with He-Man?
The old show, the old TV show.
The original 80s one or the 2002 revival?
Oh no, the original 80s.
Yeah, so that's shit. But
excuse me, that is art.
It's bad.
It is.
But so basically DC have like a long running He-Man series. And it's really good. It's like super good though. It's had like Jeff Johns and Dan Abnett on it.
Ooh, big names.
It's super good, and like, so I've been reading all of them. Yeah, like they have like, so it's like it's almost like a reboot. They do like a crossover with DC. They did a crossover with Thundercats. The Thundercats one is very funny because Skeletor kicks someone in the balls. They've done something that I really like, is that they're mainly following the 2002 revival, which is the one that I watched when I was a kid. Though I didn't watch very much of it because, you know, He-Man was too gay.
Okay.
But now like, because it was a man wearing harnesses and underwear wrestling other men in harnesses and underwear. Like, come on. But like now I kind of recognize it more as like, oh yeah, he's actually Techno Barbarian, which is actually awesome. But it's based more on the 2002 revival, so it has the best Skeletor origin, where it basically what's up?
I'm just sort of trying to remember, because it's very hard for me to differentiate anything from the 80s show where it would have a message at the end of the show, and I'm trying to think. I can't think of anything that has actually stuck with me, apart from I think one of them talked about firearm safety.
Yeah,
which is wild. But then again,
for American audiences, yeah, apparently you fucking need that.
I'm also, but also, and this sounds bad, there was another show around the same time called Brave Star.
That sounds fucking awesome.
He was a Native American superhero.
That's cool. That's a fucking good name.
And he was a cowboy sheriff, but also Native American, and he would fight with the power of like hawk, pumas, and bears.
It sounds like Nightwolf from Mortal Kombat, and that's cool.
But he would always have these really preachy messages at the end. Same thing with He-Man, because He-Man did that. It was always the public. It was like the Sunday, like, stay out of reach of alcohol, kids. Don't use your guns. Yeah. And I'm just sort of like, I don't have any of these problems. My problem with my guns, they're cap guns. And I don't know why that's coming into my head right now. But anyway, sorry.
Actually,
continue on, He-Man.
Do you know why He-Man is like has the name He-Man?
No.
So apparently Mattel were like, we need a new toy line for kids, for boys. We need a new boys toy line. Let's just make the most generic shit possible. And they were like, fucking He-Man. That's the name. Work with that. And the designers made 3 prototypes. I can't remember what the third one was, but I know the first one was like a Space Ranger. The second one was a Barbarian. And so they went with the Barbarian one. I assume because that was also around the time that like Barbarian stories are actually quite popular. So yeah, that's why it's so generic, is because they purposely made it as generic as possible.
I mean,
But,
it's
anyway,
selling
Skeletor
toys.
Origin.
Before you do, I've just sent I'm sending an image now of Brave Star, and you can tell me why this doesn't look like the most hypest shit.
You send it through Discord?
I am, as soon as it loads, because my internet is terrible.
Okay. Cool. I'll talk about the Skeletor Origin.
I've also got like 5 minutes.
That he had was like... What do you mean?
Like I have to go in 5 minutes.
Okay. I can talk about He-Man next week or next.
No,
week.
no. I mean, do you know what? Actually, that is fair, because there is something on my list. My next thing to watch on Netflix is the new He-Man show on Netflix, the Kevin Smith one.
Netflix, the Revelations one.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of that.
Though there is one thing that I will say about it. Actually, no, I'll wait until you watch the first episode. It's pretty good. That dude looks fucking cool.
It was a very good show. That's his horse friend.
That's so good.
Okay. Do you know what? Because I feel like He-Man will be a big thing, I'll make it a goal that I will catch up on I'll try and watch a bit of the AT show, and then I'll watch the new one.
You don't have to. I'm on YouTube.
I'm going to.
But also, yeah, so the Revelation series is split into 2 parts as well, so you can just watch the first 5 episodes.
Oh, ballin'.
But alrighty then. So I guess, is that podcast done?
Well, I think we need to end on a happy note, so I'm trying to figure out what would be a good one.
We can laugh about Ken Penders.
You know what? I'll let you laugh.
No, that's a podcast in itself.
Oh yeah, I feel like I need to have a Sonic podcast, because I have feelings about Sonic.
I can talk about the IDW comics.
Please do. And I can talk about the full body Sonic the Hedgehog costume I have in my wardrobe.
Okay.
I think we'll leave people with that image. Look, I suppose thank you for joining us for Maurice and the Twink, or Twinkie and the Brawn. I haven't decided yet.
Let's hope we remember to do it next month.
I hope so. Where can people find you, by the way?
Oh yeah, I'm on Twitch and YouTube and Twitter. My Twitch name is FeyWildBruh. My YouTube is FeyWild, and my Twitter is also FeyWild.
And people can find me on Twitch very occasionally, Twitter, pretty much everything at 6-bit Sarge, because that is what I do. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us.
Podcast done.
Right.